lot of our rough start can be attributed to just not being able to play in studio. At least for me, I know that I play, it's a lot harder to take away that it's a stage game and separate that from scrims because we're playing in the same room. So I think in general, we're a lot less focused than we could be.
All right. Ablazeolive and Golden Guardians are back in studio, and we are back at the State Farm Analyst desk to go over blueprints between two teams that have kind of been struggling a little bit early on in the season, right? So you heard from Olive that one of the things that he thought was missing was returning to stage. They're back now. Here are a few other things that I wanted to highlight. I really loved their creative draft against TSM. Maybe we'll see the Belveth finally after all that hype. She's made it through several drafts and not getting picked or banned. Leverage split map pressure on picks like Fiora. Obviously, we've seen Licorice side lane a lot. Sometimes it's been really successful for them, other times not so much, depending on the timing and the way they're setting up for neutral objectives. So continue to work on that. And then better to jungle laner communication. Sometimes it feels like Pridestalker is really disjointed from his lanes. So these are the three things I definitely want to see from Golden Guardians in terms of finding more success in their game.
My question around these first 2 points is that when it comes to Golden Guardians, the creativity that they have in draft can hurt the identity that they ultimately have. Sometimes they have like great team fighting comps with the Yuumi and stuff like that. Or sometimes they go back to this and put like Licorice on the Fiora or something like that. So what would you want out of them? Do you want them to just go straight towards the split push centric picks?
I actually would, because I think like when they're able to execute on that, it's the best in terms of how they are leveraging side lane pressure. And it also isn't beholden, in my opinion, to Pridestalker making a lot of early map movements, which I think they typically like him on farming picks that can carry later on when he joins up with the rest of the team. That also makes them have a better 4 or 3 depending on in fighting, depending on like what they decide to do.
I love this a lot because now if you look to mine, and I wonder how they actually wrote this because mine was a little bit wordy. So I'm interested in how they put, there it is, right? Maybe added a second sentence. So the first point that I put here is enable your most volatile and versatile players in the draft. And I said Revenge and Kenvi. We saw last split from Revenge, what he's able to do on picks like the Camille, split pushing options that he was able to actually, very similarly to Licorice, put them in winning positions in games. Kenvi, a new addition, we saw him in Academy, has picks like Kindred and all that he can actually take a backseat and draft, much like Dardoch when he was playing on Dignitas, go to the 4 and 5s, and then to see the entire composition. Going to the next point, identifying as a team what you're best at. Once again, it's side laning, but I think that we would just love to see this as a team. Their team fights have not been so strong, but then we go to the third point. Do a better job of holding the line of vision before objectives. Their last game, I felt was really rough. In fact, versus FlyQuest, when they had great control over the objective around Drake, they gave it away and weren't in position on time. This is something that they were great in their old iteration with Insanity, not something that's working out well for them.
So the big thing for me here is this.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
For this player specifically. And that's actually not a slight towards Kenvi. It is, these drafts are not enabling what he does best, and it really ends up looking like there might be some disjointedness in communication, which there will be because he's a new player. I'd really love that from you because I would love to see them facilitate some of his carry picks and make sure he's really comfortable, give him some pushing lanes, you know?
For Revenge, the last time we saw them, he was blind picking early and they 5th picked the Orianna for PowerOfEvil. I didn't personally like that. I felt like Kenvi is in pretty rough meta where you have to be first picking constantly. So that's something that I'm generally interested in. I hope you guys loved segments like these. Hopefully we can continue to do this because especially for teams that are trying to find those wins more consistently, that's something to look forward to. But now, as we head onto the stage, we're getting to know Immortals' loss and what where his drive is, rather, and in the face of hard times.
I'm an import, right? I'm from New Zealand. In order for me to deserve to be here in America, you need to basically prove yourself to be better than American talent. Otherwise, why would they pick you up, right? So if I'm spending time away from family, and not only that, I'm in a competition, I think it would be natural for me to work as hard as I can. Growing up, I wasn't that much of a grinder, honestly. I think as soon as I entered competitive league, that's kind of where I started putting in more hours and kind of realizing that, the more work you put in, the more you'll get out of it. and that should reflect in, you know, your placings or your individual performance.
Push, they find the engage, they punish the missing flash, but now looking for a kill on top side. He got him!
Goodness gracious, Lost made that
Lost
look
is
easy.
having one of the best games of his career. You have to sustain. He would have very likely self,
Oh.
but Danny trouble.
He's not looking for sustain, he's looking for an all-in! Welcome back, everybody. You just saw a couple of Lost pop-off moments from the past. Let's see if he can repeat it here today. Immortals and Golden Guardians about to go head-to-head. Golden Guardians back in the studio. It's gotta feel good.
Woo, there, I see him right there. Yep.
Hell yeah!
They made it. Licorice usually waves back, but I got.
Hey, he's in the
I
zone.
got Dono Wild.
Gotta focus up. Gotta focus up. They're back
Gotta
in the
focus
studio.
up,
They
baby.
gotta be ready to go.
He's one of my favorite players, especially right now too, because he keeps picking Fiora for top lane.
Yeah,
In
Fiora's
a world
really good.
where we're seeing so much Ornn and Gnar and you know, these types of matchups up there. Actually, both of these players have Fiora games to their name so far this split.
You know what that
So-
means is we're probably just gonna get a Fiora ban.
Now we're gonna get some carry versus carry.
Okay, all right. I would love some carry versus carry. We need a little bit of a palate cleanser after the first 5 minutes of game number 1.
That
here.
was the palate cleanser, actually. The last game was the cleanser.
W. All right, let's see how the draft is going to shake out here in this one. Golden Guardians at 2 and 3, Immortals at 1 and 4. Both of these teams know that it is a very realistic goal to say, yeah, we should be better than these other guys. Like, this is a winnable game for both squads.
Yeah. Agree, actually, for both counts here. Immortals only have 1 win so far this split versus a FlyQuest, but really trying to dig themselves out of this hole. And we heard in the interview there with Ablazeolive how he really felt like being at home was holding them back significantly. So see if they can actually put up here. This would be a great place to start a big run for the Golden Guardians.
Absolutely.
Getting back here in person. See their beautiful coaches on stage. What's up, Sam? Nice name, by the way.
Oh, yeah, the best. The best. Well, we've got Callista, Corki, Seraphine, Senna, Wukong, and Belveth all banned away. We've got the Licorice locking in Azir for his mid laner. First pick of the draft.
Okay, not anything out of the ordinary yet, but a blind Azir is a little bit extra. I guess it's not super heavy counterable. Like, right, usually. Okay, so it is, but nobody does it.
Right.
So I would want to see Xerath, Vel'Koz, you know, something locked in here. Long range poke damage really does hinder Azir very heavily, but nobody does it. Nobody locks in those champions, even though they also have gotten buffed on several patches. So
I don't know,
it's
Kobe.
probably going to be another one of the more normal, quote unquote.
Best I can do is Corki or
control
Viktor.
mages. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Well, we got Lucian
Well,
Nami.
Corki is banned out, so you can't even do Corki for me.
Lucian Nami locked in as the bottom lane for Immortals, while Golden Guardians going to respond immediately, picking up the Zeri for themselves.
Yeah. All right, are we going to get a Yuumi for that Zeri? Because that is really inting the lane over to Lucian Nami. Lucian Nami is already going to be very, very scary to deal with. Lulu, Zeri, a little bit more survivable early on, but honestly still is going to have to be very scared of a Lost and IgNar. Lucian Nami all-ins, especially if they get Kenvi, one of these early ganking junglers. That's going to be the action we were missing last time. Remember last game when I was like, oh my God, Callista Renata?
Yeah.
They're for sure
Where
going
is
to
the
gank
action?
bottom early, and they're for sure going to go super hard on this Callista Renata lane, and we did not get it. Maybe this one will deliver. So you offered me a Viktor or Corki, and since Corki is banned out, I guess I'm getting the Viktor. Thank you, sir. I will take my Viktor and I will like it. Yum, yum, yum.
When the
Eating my
mid lane
vegetables.
meta is readable by me, I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but we do have mirrored roles drafted here in the first half of this one with AD carries, supports, and mid laners. So focus on the top side, focus on the jungle here in the
That's
second
where
half
we
of the
want that
draft.
Spice Flowers, the
Okay.
carry matchups in the top lane. You know, both of these players want to establish themselves as big split pushers in the league. I think that's an admirable goal for both of these guys. And I do think that they each can do it. Some more bans here towards the jungle pool. Interesting Xin Zhao ban. And with Wukong and Belveth already off the table, you know, maybe we do even see the semi-nerfed Viego still popping up. Volibear is left untouched here, though, because on the B patch, Volibear did not get nerfed. However, in 12-13, the patch that will be coming, he is slated for nerf, so survives for now.
Well, unfortunately, talking about these carry top laners, and 3 out of 4 of the second half bans are at carry top laners. Fiora, Gwen, Gangplank, all taken off the table, and the Gnar locked in for
Okay,
Immortals.
how about this? I raise you an Aurelia counter. Oh, he did. He's hovering. Okay. Yeah, I was going to raise you.
It's not locked in yet. Don't get bamboozled.
Aurelia is a much harder counter, but relies on kill pressure on the Gnar. So your jungler has to have hands and eyes and come up to top lane.
Okay.
And give you that pressure. And the Volibear, this is gonna do it. Come on, that's early right there.
That's it.
That is tower dive. That is flash on you with the Q stun ready to go in mini form. Come on, let's get it. They flirted with us with the hover.
I'd love
Come on, come on, come on! Channel the energy of the crowd. Let's go. Come on! Oh, no! No!
I have not heard a room so collectively disappointed since the end of Game of Thrones.
Look, I can see him smiling on stage. They hurt.
They
can
know.
hear you.
They know. All right, well, Immortals have saved their jungler for the last pick. I hope this means we're going to get to see something creative from Kenvi. Trundle.
So, that is unironically super good pick, though, into the last 2 picks here from Golden Guardians with the Volibear, Sejuani. They're really good stats to steal for Trundle. This is a champion that definitely benefited quite heavily from the durability patch because Trundle got more durable and can steal more durable stats from his opponents with the ultimate.
He gets more to steal. He gets more directly. He's just getting more.
Pays to be king.
And the way that it works with that Sejuani passive, that glacial armor, it's so powerful if you can get the subjugate at the right time in those big fights. That's what I'll be looking specifically at Kenvi's ult timing for, just as you always do in Trundle versus Sejuani world.
Yep. And because it is top Sejuani, not going to be the aftershock, so you don't even have to wait for Sejuani to proc a CC first. Usually that's the game that you play if it's jungle Sejuani. Trying to time it before, when you have both those buffs on. But just gonna be looking at the ulti in this game, and I'm gonna be looking at, surprise, surprise, again, the bottom lane. Difference in pushing power here. Lucian Nami, I want to see it. Lost, had a pop-off game previously in their biggest game. Best part of this team so far. Most aggressive part.
Well,
let's see him play to it.
If you're picking the Lucian Nami, don't do what we saw from Team Liquid last game and draft Kalista Renata and then not do anything with it, not play with that, not play around that. If you've got Lucian Nami, I want to see some bullets in some butts.
Let's electrocute too. It's not the Guardian Nami either. This is no halfway Lucian Nami.
No more half measures.
This is full send. This is a full send Lucian Nami here. Unfortunately, it is a Trundle trying to help gank for them, so we'll see about the effectiveness there. Trundle Pillar is not very effective against Zeri because she can jump right through it. Still slows her on the other side.
Yeah, you get a little bit of value out of it, but just not as much as you'd like. Doesn't look like we're going to get anything crazy at level 1 here in this one either. Honestly, the level 1 looking a lot like the previous game.
Walk up, drop your ward right in his face. Wait, he didn't even drop the ward. He faked it.
No, he just...
Dude, that's even more Chad. You walk up and you fake drop your trinket ward.
Yeah, so now they think that they're playing around a ward. But
call down the thunder, walk up, do nothing, and promptly leave.
The mind games. He's already ahead. He's already winning.
Pridestalker. All right. Well, we did get the Raptor ward down, but actually it doesn't even see into Raptor Pit, just sees the ramp, and Olleh knows it's there.
Olleh, he'll get the glitter lance there as
20 gold, baby.
Yeah, hey, that spell thieves, man, it feels good.
Certainly does. Olleh is currently dominating this game.
Olleh off to the races here at the very start. Revenge, you can see he tries to harass him a little bit there at the blue buff start for Pridestalker.
Yeah, get that little boomerang out of here.
Well, Licorice will be able to just walk himself back up the top. Worth pointing out for anybody who has missed how top Sejuani works, Not normally a champion that likes to take flash. Usually these top lane Sejuanis are often taking the TP Ignite combo instead, but that does mean that it could set up better opportunities for a gank for Kenvi if he finds a way up here. But both junglers starting on the top side of their own jungles means they will be pathing towards that bottom side here first.
Yeah, I mean, we were super excited for the hovers and for the possibility of an Aurelia, commitment to an all-in counter to the Gnar on top side and going for those kills in mini form.
Yeah.
It's still doable, though, with Sejuani. Sejuani top came to rise because of the bonuses and the buffs that were given to Sejuani were actually damage related for the past like 3 buffs to the champion. And so there definitely will be a possibility there, especially once Volibear can get up to the top side on a mini timing. Anytime you just channel your Q, flash in, it's very difficult to mess that stun up for Volibear. The only way is if you literally click on a minion.
I was gonna say you have to click somebody else.
And there is a button that you can find that will solve that issue to not even allow yourself to baby-proof your own champion.
It's a powerful button
against messing that up.
I feel like a lot of people don't use that button, but it's a really, really useful tool.
It certainly is. The target champions only button. Pridestalker is on the ward, though. He has made his attempt to help the push out, at least.
Yep, he calls down the thunder on the caster minions.
Got him.
That's
roasted. Pressure gank.
Well, he does have control over this bottom side river at least, so he will grab the crab there. Up here on the top side, it's Revenge with control over the lane. So he's got Licorice stuck underneath that turret. He'll just keep up going with that one as Kenvi is up here. So he'll not only grab his own crab, but he'll also shadow his top laner as that wave crashes in.
Yep, the classic Gromp Blue ward. It will see the second respawn of the Gromp and gives your top laner way more confidence to push up with. Because unless your opponents know it's there, which a lot of times you can actually just play around it when you split sides like this.
Yeah.
But the only way Pridestalker would get his gank off now would be going through lane, which I think is a really underrated path to ganking. Since we have so many non-ganks and non-kills in the early game nowadays, we can just do a little tutorial in case people forgot how to gank.
All right, yeah.
But when the top lane is pushed up, when Sejuani gets up to like about here, oh, never mind. We actually get some action.
We got some action in the bottom lane instead. Lost has to flash away as the Ignite comes down. IgNar trying to get out here too. Honestly, Lucian, Nami getting slapped around a little bit in the 2v2 doesn't feel good.
Yeah, they do heal Ignite in trade for both summoners off of Lost. So still is going to be the combat advantage of the Ignite for Immortals, but Lucian going to be very vulnerable down on the bottom side.
And that's what I want to say. Bring Volibear back down here. Try to find some other opportunity. Try to take advantage of this no cleanse, no flash. Get Pridestalker involved.
Use that target champions only button.
Let's
Q
go.
and charge and flash on him.
There ain't a target wolves only button. There ain't a target minions only button. I just need the button that targets champions only.
So they've been wondering and looking for solutions to increase incentives for killing early. What if we just have our own button and we can turn it on and then no champions can target minions anymore and you can only target champions?
if the game timer hits 10 minutes without first blood, you are no longer allowed to damage anything that's not a champion.
Exactly, you're forced to kill champions. You can only watch the minions as they fight their own war.
I'll sign that petition. I'm down for it.
Yeah, give us the power. Big red button up here for us to smash.
Kenvi will clear out some wards in the bottom side river there. He's got a support next to him, so it's not like Pridestalker can challenge on that one. As Licorice strikes back against Revenge here a little bit in the top side. We'll be able to get the stun and then back away as he turns into the Mega Gnar.
Yeah. It's all about the second swing on the flail. That right there, the skinny W from Sejuani does most of the damage.
Licorice doing a good job here trading into the Gnar, even when he is in mega form. Back down in the bottom lane, Lost and IgNar. Lost went home, he shopped. Not an incredible buy. I mean, he's only got a couple of long swords in there. But now with Pridestalker making his way down into the bottom lane, Kenvi's here as well.
There's a counter game.
All right.
Not gonna happen. All right, we don't get our flash play. We don't get our all-in attempt, but it is wise. Kenvi's there for the counter gank now. Just with bottom prio, they can move over to the dragon. Mid lane was also pushed in, so this is what you get when you get 2 lanes pushing in. You get the first move to the dragon. See it clearly here. That is the recipe right there on screen for the freest of early dragons. You get mid and bottom, push in, easy collapse there into the river. An easy dragon for the Golden Guardians. 6 minutes, 40 seconds or so. Pretty decent pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to put them in a good spot if they can keep picking these up to be able to use that for pressure here earlier, like what we saw in the last game where Closer was able to steal it and stop the stack. But being able to apply that pressure early can give you some nice advantages. Kenvi up here in the top side. He'll grab that crab.
You remember that? You remember that early 20 gold that we were outside for Olleh? He got the early transformation on his.
Okay.
Big moves just in time. Ooh. The big spike, the power spike for Lulu. Transformed his support item.
I like the fact that you're keeping track of this. Is Chekhov's spell thief.
Yeah.
We saw it earlier, and now it's paying off. Now it has a role in the story.
It's a callback, baby.
Yeah.
We're keeping track of the storyline. Kenvi, though, up on the top side when the Rift Herald's about to spawn. 20 seconds left on Rift Herald, so it is going to be a recall from Pridestalker. Doesn't want to camp around bottom too long. And I have to say, I will take a Zeri Lulu with a CS lead towards the mid stages of this game every day of the week. I am so ecstatic here if I'm the Golden Guardians.
That feels great.
Yeah, Zeri definitely scales super well, especially with a Lulu at her back.
And let's go ahead and take a look at the total gold here in the game. FTX total gold on the left side of your screen. It is Ablazeolive leading the way with Stixxay and PowerOfEvil right behind him. And PowerOfEvil's been somebody who's been under a lot of criticisms with Immortals' poor performance in Summer so far, not being able to have the impact that you would expect from a player like him. I hope that he's able to fix some of the issues that he's had so far in these first couple of weeks, because I agree, his performances thus far have not been great.
We got a swap-a-roni here for the Rift Herald Flowers. I think because Sejuani, Licorice there, still no timer left on his leashed teleport.
Yep.
They are opting to not fight this, and it is going to be a bunch of money going over to Immortals as they commit everybody to this Rift Herald to pick up. It's actually way too high of a cost to pay, though. Hold on, this bottom tower, Sejuani.
Okay.
Sejuani usually, you're not too scared about how many turret plates Sejuani can take, but Licorice is getting paid and denying so many minions. That is actually not even worth a full 5-member commitment up to that Rift Herald for Immortals. Golden Guardians get more out of the trade by actually just keeping Licorice on bottom, denying so many minions into the tower here from Revenge. Licorice with the experience lead. He's level 8 lead over Revenge, as well as a bunch of turret plates and money.
And I like that call from Golden Guardians, saying, okay, yeah, you're going to index this heavily into Rift Herald. We're just going to not worry about it. You can have that. Unless Immortals gets a full turret with 5 plates out of the Herald charge, they're behind, as you already said.
Yeah, and now top lane looking pretty juicy here. Pridestalker does have ulti, does have flash. We got a double roam. Azir's heading up. 4-person attempt at pushing Lost and IgNar back is successful. They get at least the turret plate here for Stixxay. And the Zeri is just racking up more and more power.
Licorice getting chased down by Revenge there, but obviously not worried about it too much here as the Sejuani. 2,000 gold lead for Golden Guardians, man.
I gotta be honest, this is looking really good for the Golden Guardians. I mean, they were looking forward to getting back in studio really heavily, and already, they're setting up, even with 0-0 here, 10.5 minutes, setting themselves up super nicely towards the mid stages of this game. They can just continue dragon stacking as well with their huge gold lead, and there's buff tank on the bottom side. Licorice has a full level lead over Revenge. It's a massive difference down there. And the guaranteed engage that you get with Sejuani is so good for especially the earlier dragon fights here, because while the ult is single target for the stun, does create a nice slow zone for the rest of your team as well. And that's what Zeri and Azir want. They just want big zones, slow people down so they can fire off all that auto attack damage.
So let me ask you this. How do you stop the bleeding if you're Immortals right now? You're down 1,500 gold. Things are not looking great for you. We're just talking about how, yeah, man, Golden Guardians are loving this state of the game. What's the cure here for IMT?
I don't know if we got a cure. It's
no.
hard because as Trundle, you don't have a lot of playmaking, especially with how the lanes are playing out now, with Lulu very comfortable on the top side of the map too. There's not really a nice area to attack, and so they're gonna have to come up with a big teamfight win then. They're not really gonna be able to get any individual advantages before the team fight breaks out, and so they're going to actually have to just play it better. Maybe PoE can pump out some damage on Viktor if he can get catch up and get his Viktor to his mythic before the team fight, so he can try and catch up to Ablazeolive, who already completed his Liandry's. Then he could be the key. There's something, too, I want to talk about with this Viktor skin.
Okay,
because to me, I really dislike this Viktor skin with the gray chroma. It makes it very hard to notice the Chaos Storm. Much more difficult than other skins for Viktor. So I feel like it really hides more Viktor spells than any of the others.
Golden Guardians walking up here trying to fight in what could be a 3v3, but Immortals ward them away. Shelly gets off the charge, takes out 2 plates, but nothing more. PowerOfEvil coming into the fight first. Pridestalker with the ulti to disengage. Stixxay popping an ult of his own. Goes back in for a bit of damage, but nobody wants to fully commit to this.
There's a little gray Chaos Storm down there. I've seen people walk back into it. Pro players walk back into it when the Viktor is playing this skin with this chroma.
It is a little tricky.
That's my little man. I don't like it. It's a little sussy.
I'm with you.
I'm saying it's a little sussy. That chroma.
We all have skins that we just like, nah, that's not it. My problem, the one that I have that problem with is the Dragon Lee Sin. Okay. He's Ezreal. Yeah, he runs like Ezreal. His Q looks like Ezreal. The dude is Ezreal.
Yeah, we have different issues with them, but yeah, I was agree. That one's like overly flashy. This one.
This one is too subtle.
Exactly.
It's not flashy
I see you,
enough.
Viktor players. I see what you're trying to do. Golden Guardian's going to be able to continue stacking their dragons, though. And this is the sad story of Immortals, this split, Flowers. It has been a haunting start here for this team. Getting in a really big deficit this early on for the Golden Guardians. Looks like it's going to be hard for them to pull back out. We did get PoE to that breakpoint that we were looking for, though. He got at least his Liandry's. He caught up on his recall. He did get 1 turret plate off, slowly chunking down Ablazeolive now with the lasers. And so Immortals, they're really hanging their hats on hoping for a big team fight for them to be able to just play it better than Golden Guardians. I have to say, though, the longer the game goes like this and Golden Guardians just keep increasing their leads with Licorice, this Sejuani, the richest player in the game, off of the Rift Herald swap. This is so much because of the Rift Herald swap, by the way. All that turret plate money on that he earned himself, the entire turret taken, and the first turret bonus as well. That is a very, very rich Poro rider.
And Immortals used that Herald top. They got the 2 plates from the charge, and that's it. Like, that Herald did not turn into a big swing. It didn't turn into a lot of momentum.
That Herald was a big Golden Guardians play is what it was.
Yeah, that was a big moment for Golden Guardians, being able to get to the point where they're at right now, is just making the right call, leaving Licorice down there, allowing him to build up that lead. He's got his tier 2/3 of the way stacked as well, so that'll be another big power spike once that item is fully completed in the Thimblewinter. This is scary stuff. Scary, scary stuff for Immortals. I do like the fact, yes, PowerOfEvil, we're not seeing any weird build this game so far, at least. Like, he's got Liandry's, he's got damage. That's one of the things that people have been critical of, too, is just like, Riftmaker Orianna, stuff like that. So I'm glad that they've got the firepower here, but they do have to scale up. Like you're saying, they do have to find one of those big fights. They're going after the second Rift Herald, and Golden Guardians are ready to challenge for this one. Pridestalker goes in, the stun comes down. IgNar wants to get out. Sejuani ulti over the wall, but not enough damage. He's got 100 HP, but he gets away. Revenge having a flash out now, too. Golden Guardians still after the Herald. Kenvi wants to come in, try to fight for this. Olleh gets the shuffle and hands a double kill over to Stixxay.
He's gonna sweep Immortals right back into their graves, Flowers. Golden Guardians are on stage, and Golden Guardians are dominating that stage from start to finish. It's only 16 minutes in, and Golden Guardians have almost wrapped up their day of work.
Golden Guardians with a 4,000 gold lead off of this. Let's see it again.
This is a spanking. Okay, so they go in pre-teleport arrival. Pridestalker almost 100% the Nami, and then with the Sedge snipe over the back, IgNar's basically out of the fight, still trying to buff up his teammates though. Then we have a little bit of defensive maneuver right back to the Rift Herald, and it's here. Ablazeolive sees the angle, goes for the flash play. Only PoE is able to flash far enough to be able to get to the other side, and Ablaze just sweeps them all back in. would you like a bunch of money with your Rift Herald and your giant lead in this game?
We'll season it with some nice damage sprinkles. 3,400 in the last fight coming out from the Emperor. Ablazeolive saw his moment. He jumped, he pounced, he was rewarded for it. Golden Guardians are crushing.
And this is a player too that got so much hype in his rookie season and split. Ablazeolive was really on course to be one of these big hype stories for North American talent. And he did have a little bit of a dip, but nice to see him have a nice resurgence here. 1-0-2 on the Azir, and he's looking like carry pants on.
Oh, yes, sir. He's got the pants, he's got the belt, he's ready to go. And Immortals, I don't know. Kobe, I don't know. What the hell?
You sound like someone who's just been told by their mother, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And now you're just struggling.
My mom used to tell me that all the time when I was a little kid. And that's what I'm doing because I don't know what to say. Immortals can't get their own footing. I don't know what's going on with this team. But Golden Guardians making them look bad here. And they've still got control over the game. All 5 players grouped up here in the mid lane. 45 seconds until the 3rd Drake of the game. Remember, it's Golden Guardians who have both of those already as well. If they get this, they're on soul point.
Yeah, you bet your butt they do. All right, 37 seconds. Not gonna be able to trap the Sejuani, not today.
A little bit of poke over the wall there with that Zeri W. That thing stings, man.
I don't know why it does so. Why does it do so much damage, even for the AD build? Like, yeah, I've seen the funny AP build Zeri videos and stuff, but it actually scales so well with AD also.
Yeah. It's just a really strong spell. The fact that it crits when it passes through terrain.
It's interesting that they did touch Zeri with a little bit of a nerf as well with the stacks, the move speed from the ultimate. Going down a bit, basically cut in half. Wow, they're actually just gonna forego the dragon and go right into the base. They say, knock, knock, Immortals, who's home? Anybody? Anybody there?
I actually love this call from the Golden Guardians. They're saying, we don't care about soul. We're going to get 1, 2, 3 turrets from Herald charges. Absolutely awesome from Golden Guardians. You take that trade any day of the week. It's gonna charge the damn in here.
Shelly's not done. She's taking it to Immortal. She's gonna finish the work. Shelly, 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 Shelly.
Almost. Lost gets in there and stops Shelly's reign of terror. But Immortals...
the 45 health, Shelly, just laying destruction inside the base.
Immortals, yeah, they stopped the stack, but at what cost, man?
Well, the cost was 3 towers and the inhibitor down to 30%. Ablazeolive right back out to the top side of the map as well, still collecting cash. And Immortals just looks so sluggish this game. Really, really big props to the Golden Guardians. They came out, they have dictated the pace of this game. They have not stopped. Really smart call on the swap, by the way, from Golden Guardians. The biggest brain play of this whole game was them swapping Licorice down to bottom side of the map when the Rift Herald came up, and him just pushing out multiple waves, denying so much that Immortals, from that point on, they were just in such a deep hole, they can't get out under the control of the #1 pro rider of the day.
Yeah, I'm honestly struggling to see how Immortals comes back into this game. Aside from a massive Golden Guardians throw, I'm not seeing the angle here. And it's tough because, I mean,
well,
you already mentioned...
objective bounties are up.
Okay, so we got that.
Let those light your way, Flowers. The objective bounties were put into the game to be the light at the end of the tunnel.
Literally a big golden outline around the thing says, go here.
Exactly. You can always kind of hope for the big Baron steal, because then you get all of the gold and benefits of Baron plus the objective bounty shutdown.
Well, Pridestalker takes a little bit of damage here, but gotta be careful. Okay, he ults back, but the ult didn't work so well. Had to flash, too. Pridestalker gets away.
Yeah, that's the thing about Volibear. He's a real big boy, so there are not a lot of walls you can jump with the Volibear ultimate. I think a lot of players actually get hung up on that because the model grows in size and it's so big, too. And you have to get, like, over 50% of the way through the terrain to be able to push over to the other side.
Right, it has to round up.
Anything that even looks a little bit thick, if you doubt yourself at all, then you can't jump over it as Volibear, basically. If you ever find yourself questioning, can I jump over this wall? The answer is probably no.
If the wall is thick, you're gonna stick.
There we go.
It's not a good time if Volibear is trying to level up his acrobatics. Down here in bottom lane, Revenge going after Licorice. Licorice with that Iceborne Gauntlet, with that Frost, or not, I always forget the name of the stupid thing.
Fimbulwinter. The Fimble Fumble, baby.
The
Let's get this.
Fumble, I like that.
This is what we wanted, though.
Some action. Kenvi, he could blind flash over. This is the hope. Dream. Make your dreams real.
That might be what it
Go
has
for the
to be.
steal, baby.
Baron down to 1,500. It's going to be secured by the side of the Golden Guardians. Revenge wants to get away, but Stixxay says no. It's 2 already over to the side of Golden Guardians as Immortals tries to continue their retreat. 8,000 gold lead.
I was trying to live a little there. Oh my goodness. I actually can't believe the Golden Guardians actually just went for the flip and they actually were willing to risk it. But they do and are rewarded again. It turns out Immortals, they actually can't catch a break there either. Can't get the lucky steal. They straight up 50-50 this. Like, nobody's even keeping him out. I mean, he's got polymorphed. He flashes in. It's a straight up fair is fair. Pridestalker hits the smite. Golden Guardians get the Baron, and they get a little bit more as well. PowerOfEvil and Lost both flash out, but now there are no flashes on Immortals carries, and Golden Guardians coming to finish the job.
The base is already broken open from Shelly's great adventure early on, so we've got some serious problems for Immortals right now. They are very far behind. They have Golden Guardians pushing 2 different lanes. They've got that turret set up by Azir that they have to deal with in the mid lane, and Golden Guardians are not stopping. I love the fact they're just pedal to the metal with this.
Yeah. Honestly, with this Baron buff, wouldn't be surprised. Well, Dragon is also coming up, so maybe they just go for like a couple inhibitors and retreat to this respawning Dragon there. No reason to risk anything here versus Immortals because, honestly, unless you hand it to them, I don't think they're coming back.
Well, Lost takes a little bit of damage there from the Zeri, who is getting really, really scary at this point, as Immortals have lost half the HP on the bottom lane tier 3 turret. The mid lane inhibitor was fortunately able to regenerate a lot of that damage that it took from the Shelly attack, so it's still mostly full, but the cannon minion down here in bottom lane is doing plenty of work. Kobe, it's almost going to kill this turret itself.
Yeah, Golden Guardians are just full chilling back here. Immortals, this team is in a pretty bad place just overall, not even just in this game, I feel like. Things are already starting to get really, really rough for them in summer.
Well, the turret falls. 2 inhibitors now exposed. 2 inhibitors at half HP. Stixxay going to put the auto attacks.
The pellet gun does too much.
That pellet gun finds the first inhibitor of the game. Golden Guardians claim that one in bottom lane. Mid lane inhib should be able to roll that one over as well without any real difficulties here. There they go. Licorice jumping in, going for the engage. Lost, getting himself out there with the use of the cleanse. But now we've got some trouble for Pridestalker, who has to try to disengage.
Hey, they got a kill.
Immortals gets their first kill of the game, 24.5 minutes in.
All right, well, now it's the retreat over to Dragon for the Golden Guardians. They gave him one. Immortal's going to eat up a little bit. 2 inhibitors down means they are going to at least have some minions as well, but it's just going to be a full reset there for Golden Guardians after they take this Dragon.
Yep.
Top side is easy for them to finish off.
That push was just about over anyway because Baron was about to expire. They were running a little bit low on resources. They did want to go pick up that Dragon like you were talking about back at the start of the Baron play. So losing Pridestalker, a little bit unfortunate. Nothing back-breaking, however, for the Golden Guardians.
What a turbo enter. He gave them 100% of their kills.
Damn.
He's going to have to do, garbage duty or something. I don't know what kind of stuff they have at Golden Guardians. They have a rotating system. They got someone to take care of that for them.
I have no idea, but Pridestalker is, he's the only one with a number other than a 0 in the middle column, man. That's not a good look.
True. It's okay. It's the duty of the Volibear.
Yep, that's true. You gotta take one for the team. You gotta be able to lead the charge.
He has the only death, and he had the ultimate stick into the wall. So...
so what's worse? Being the only death, or Licorice is the only one without 100% kill participation. He missed out on one of the kills.
I think that's worse. Yeah.
Okay.
You need to get in there, even from top lane. No excuses, okay?
No excuses. Golden Guardians aren't making any excuses here, though, as they continue their push. They're looking at that last remaining lane that has anything still standing in it. Looking at the last remaining tier 3 turret here. PowerOfEvil and Kenvi trying to defend. Pridestalker again with a defensive ulti as Licorice can just ride that Poro out of the enemy base, helping get these waves shoved up in the other 2 lanes, create multiple points of pressure for Immortals to deal with.
Poke them with the stick, see if they do anything.
Well, The stick is marching down mid lane. All right, they're gonna go deal with that. We got Baron here in just over a minute as well, and it looks like Golden Guardians are gonna back away. They'll head back home, they'll pick up some wards, they'll get themselves in a good spot to set up for this Baron. It seems like a pretty easy way to wrap up the game. Go Baron, then you can go end nothing to it.
And so if we just zoom out then for Golden Guardians, this game is gonna put them at 3-3, comfortably in the middle of the standings, where they're situated to make a nice push. Like this team is already looking like, especially with the stage games, they're going to be a solid, playoffs LCS team. They want to continually make those qualifications. They want to continually build each year and sustain these improvements. Honestly, definitely can see it coming.
Well, all that they got to do is close this one out. 25 seconds until the Baron. Do they even need it, though? Nice disengage coming out from Immortals, stopping Pridestalker from going in. That was a very rabid bear, Kobe. He had the Kim tank. He was ready to go, but
yeah. You know the cool thing about Volibear, too? If they interrupt your Q, then you just get it again.
Yeah.
That is so sick.
Unless you're against Volibear.
Unless you're against Volibear, then it's not so sick. But Lost, he did
There
still
he
have
goes.
Flash.
Arr! Okay, they walk away from it. Kenvi's not really the target they want to go after anyway. He does lose about 1/3 HP. Ablazeolive putting some more damage into him. Baron spawning up now. Golden Guardians are going for it. Immortals, no. But can Immortals really even do anything about it to begin with? Ablazeolive can immediately just walk away there from Kenvi. Continue to put the damage into the Immortals. Jungler, they won't let him through.
Hold the line! Ablazeolive and Licorice, the gatekeepers.
2v5 holding him off. Culling already coming out from Lost. Kenvi wants to approach the pit. He's just going to get stunned off. He's immediately killed. They don't even stay on the Baron. They're turning around looking for kills instead. Ablazeolive. Okay, the soldiers didn't exactly do what they were looking for there, but hey, they still managed to get the flash out of revenge. Immortals heads back home. One man fewer, and Golden Guardians go right back into the Baron game.
Yes, sir. That's going to be the Baron, and marching towards the end of this game. Immortals, what can they even do? They got to start reviewing what can they do later in the season. Because after the game last week, also, that was another one of the most rough LCS games that we have had in a very long time from any team. They're just the constant punching bag nowadays.
It's tough. It's really, really rough for Immortals because, I mean, I don't know. When everything seems like it's going wrong, where do you even start with fixing it?
I think you just got to start doing anything.
Okay.
Just take some action, because how are you going to find data on what works and what doesn't if you don't take an action?
That's fair. Kenvi gonna get caught here a little bit in mid lane. Pridestalker chasing after him. Stixxay fires a laser through the wall. Sejuani ulti not gonna hit the target, but it does do a good job zoning him away. Revenge dies in mini Gnar form. Pridestalker keeps the chase alive, now flashing out to keep himself safe. Golden Guardians with a 5v4 for the next 40 seconds. Shoving down mid lane. Pridestalker's just going back. He's like, there's not a whole lot he can do.
Does Pridestalker get back to the next? Oh, I was gonna say, does he get back to the Nexus by the time that they blow it up?
Well, it looks like
they're
probably
not pushing hard enough. Oh,
they're gonna go get Hex Soul. That's on the map.
All right. We can give them some more fantasy points. Rack up those neutral objectives.
Exactly. Pad the stats a little bit.
Exactly. Golden Guardians here on stage, and they just want to savor every moment of it. Soul picked up. Now there's no possible comeback for Immortals.
Golden Guardians are just, it's all over except the part where they get 50 gold for the Nexus. This one is looking done. Immortals never really looking like they had much of a shot in it. It was that big play from Ablazeolive, the shuffle, that really blew things up, and ever since then, it's just been Golden Guardians going to town.
It's really scary, too, because their last game of last week was also this ineffective.
Yeah.
This is now not just an aberration. 2 points. We've created a line. This is a very, very worrying trend for Immortals.
Something's got to change, but it ain't going to change before this game ends. Golden Guardians looking to finish what they've started here. Stixxay losing half of his health, though. Chaos Storm. They get that out of the Viktor. There's still 45 seconds left on this Baron. They want to try to use this, make sure they can mow down this last remaining tier 3 turret. They've got the next wave about to crash into it.
They can see the boulder about to crush them. Immortals are just staring at it. Here it comes.
It's about to roll forwards.
It's slowly rolling. Ow, ow, ow.
There we go. Licorice, the man who decides it's time to go on in. Ablazeolive throws out the wall, and that one's going to be very, very effective. A double kill back over to the mid laner.
And the Boulder wins!
A clean ace. And Golden Guardians will absolutely slam Immortals and take this game.
All right, I want to hear what the analyst has to say. What are they going to prescribe to Immortals? Because they need some help, and they need it now. They need it stat.
They needed it yesterday.
They needed it last week.
It's tough, man. It's really tough for Immortals. Like,
it is, it is. There we go, Licorice, so he's happy. Picking up the dub here in the studio for Golden Guardians.
you love to see it. They said that they thought playing from home was a debuff. Well, they are buffed up and ready to go. Golden Guardians, they got to be proud of that one. They looked good. They were able to make the call. Like you were talking about, they're saying, yeah, just flip the Baron. We can trust our guy. Pridestalker will do it.
Yeah. All right, that one,
I'm calling that a Chad play.
Yeah, it is, but the Chad is not always the most intelligent play.
But it was cool.
They gave him a chance to make the game exciting, you know?
Yeah.
They left the door open, yeah. That is something, yeah. If you're gonna nitpick and you're gonna examine, you know, if Golden Guardians really wanted to drill every little bit in, of course, you never want to flip a 50-50 versus a team that you're just running around the rift already and give them a chance to window back into the game, but
well, I mean, talking about objectives,
they weren't even sweating.
Very early in the game, when Immortals does go after the Rift Herald and they get themselves that, and Golden Guardians just says, okay, Licorice, take the whole tower, no problem.
Yeah,
and then that was
down there,
a massive lead being built just out of that. So Golden Guardians, they got their heads on straight. They're playing the macro game that they want to play, even then when they're also at 2 Drakes, and Immortals is moving in. Hey, we won't let you guys get soul point.
Yeah.
All right, cool, we don't care. 3 turrets. And most of the inhib there mid. Golden Guardians look good in that game. And we're heading over to the stage to join Stixxay and Emily in the Verizon postgame interview.
Hello, and I am joined by Golden Guardians Stixxay. Just first of all, welcome back, both from your COVID quarantine and just generally, welcome back to the LCS.
Thank you.
I know Olive spoke last week about how there's such a difference between playing actually on stage in front of our lovely crowd here and then playing at home. So just how does it feel generally to be back? And do you attribute some of the crowd noise to your victory?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was really weird. It's, I guess, been a while since I played on stage, so I actually forgot like a lot of the protocols and stuff that we have to do. But yeah, it's always weird to get used to like a new setup, and it just feels a lot different. But yeah, it was really nice seeing the crowd and having a lot of noise in the background. It's nice.
All right, so I'm gonna start with the draft, of course, because I can. You ended up with the Zeri. Were you surprised that they didn't lock it in and went for Lucian Nami, because that bot lane seemed to go really well for you?
Yeah, I think Zeri Lulu is traditionally a pretty good matchup for Lucian Nami, so I was surprised, especially because Lucian got nerfed. Pretty surprised they went Lucian Nami, but it can work. It can work for sure. But
one thing we talked about going into this matchup is maybe seeing some stronger jungle to lane communication between Pridestalker and the rest of the team. It actually looked pretty good here with the Volibear pick. So just describe to me how your early game communication has been going and who's in charge of that.
I would say it's mainly a jungler, Pridestalker. He's usually just hitting the full clears, and we just kind of adapt and play our lanes around that.
Okay, cool. And then overall, generally, there was a play around Second Herald that I'm sure you know I'm going to reference, where it's pretty much just you're like perma pushing down mid and not much was traded for it. Were you surprised that mid was so available and open to you, or what was the communication like on your team in that moment?
Yeah, we were a bit surprised that was the option they took. But the thing is, like for Immortals, they're kind of in like a lose-lose situation. But yeah, it went really well for us. But that's why Herald is OP.
Okay. And then last question. Overall, even before you came, Golden Guardians were known for having a really strong early game map pressure. Again, what goes into it? I know you talked about how Pridestalker is communicating with you as he's clearing, but what goes into your cross-map plays, especially early to mid?
I would say we try to follow the LCK LPL style of playing, and we
yeah, try to play for all the objectives, and we also draft strong lanes to do that. So that's usually why we have leads in the early game.
If you're following LPL style playing, you could get some more early game kills in there. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I didn't scare you off of interviews for forever as the LCS substitute interviewer. And on the other side of the break, we will be back to the State Farm Analyst Desk to preview C9 CLG, which is a very hype matchup, so stay tuned.
I call it the wheel.
I don't think so. This is a miss.
Brother David, behold! It's a fork!
I got 10 forks right here, baby! A toilet? We're not animals. We go outside like humans.
Hancock!
No king!
The people shall have the right to vote!
Even the stupid ones? Edison, can I be honest with you? It stinks. Nobody's gone to the moon, ever! Why not? It's far! It's too far! It's far!
の未来はポータブルミュージックです。
バカか！出て行け！語りがいてもいるぞ！語り！
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
Okay. How much for a collector's edition squishy pig with holographic cover art? I'm trying to save some cash.
You don't have to sell that. State Farm has rates that fit your budget.
Don't even look at my squish. Don't even look at it!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.